everyone, my name is Halima Aden and I'm a fashion model and I'm also from Kakuma. I just remember thinking like, oh, is this a joke? Is this a prank? Like, what's happening? But it was incredible. Like, that's not something that comes by every day, like especially for me. Like, I'm wearing the hijab and that's something that's never happened before. So it was a big deal. I have so many memories, like they're all just coming to me and it's like hitting me like a Mack truck. But I just have so many memories of what it was like to just have a ton of freedom back. Seeing it now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea because like I just was like, oh my goodness, why are all these kids like, but then I remember how I felt with my friends and just going off alone and being gone for like hours, sometimes even all day, right? And just running back home in time for like supper or dinner. So I just have a lot of memories. It's little stuff. It's nothing even like major. It's just like something very small, like reminds me of like what it was like to be a child here. So I did housekeeping for 2 years. For me, like I wanted to get my foot into like the hospital one way or another. So I applied for housekeeping and I did that for 2 years. Actually, I was doing housekeeping. It's funny. I was doing housekeeping and I was doing modeling at the same time. Yeah, the first like 6 months of being a model, I also kept my job. What inspires me is community. Hearing different stories. I love getting to learn the different journeys, even if it's like the complete opposite of like my journey. I find it fascinating. I think we have so much stories to tell and we can all learn from each other. So that's just always been me. Like I loved like learning and I loved like hearing and I loved like getting to meet different people. It inspires me, but also me wanting to inspire the children, whether they be refugees, Muslims, hijab wearing women, whatever, that inspires me to do good. I can't even like put into words, but this trip has probably been like the most exhilarating, but also the most challenging as far as just emotion goes. Like I've never ever felt this emotional ever in my life. Ever, like honestly, because on one hand I'm coming home for the first time and that has like a whole list of emotions that come with it, and then on the other hand like I have a TED talk to do and it's my first time and it's no pressure, it's just the eyes of the world, right? My mom thought I was crazy. She was like, really? Why? That's the first thing she asked. And plus she's an African mom. She was like, go back to school, like get to bed. Like she's like, go put on a dress. You could walk in the living room, but after that hour you're going back to like, no, you're not doing modeling basically. This trip has been like the most happy she's been with anything modeling. Like I could honestly be like, Mom, like this is a new magazine, like I'm on the cover and it's like a big deal, and she'd be like, okay, I don't know what, like she won't understand it, but when I told her about Kakuma, when I told her about the work that I'm doing with UNICEF, like she's so proud. What makes me beautiful is not my physical appearance, it's what's on the inside. I feel like that's an answer that we all say, but it truly is the way you carry yourself as a young girl, the way you make others feel. There's just so much that goes into the term beauty, and you could really make it and define it for yourself. And I think that's when you're really in control, when you could give the definition versus soaking in what people have already said and done, you know? It's a way of life for me. You know, like beauty is not as simple as, oh, like my contour is popping, my cheeks are looking nice. I never saw my hijab as a political statement. I was 8 years old when I put it on. I don't even think I was making a statement, like I didn't even understand. It was just like, oh, my mom looks really pretty and I want to look like her. It was that simple. I'm very, very conscious about the steps that I take, even within like my career. Like obviously I don't want to support an organization or whatever it is that doesn't really fully accept people, you know. And when I say acceptance, I mean you have to be able to accept everybody, because we all come in different sizes, shapes, ethnicities, backgrounds. So if a company or whatever, or a brand is not willing to accept everybody, it just takes that one person for me. Like, okay, if you're not gonna accept them, like, okay, I don't feel welcome anymore, you know? So I'm very intentional with the people that I work with. But I'm also very extremely lucky that the fashion industry has taken me with open arms. Like, they have just been like amazing to work with. I always feel comfortable. They accommodate me very, very well. In fact, I'll be on a photo shoot and they'll be like, is this okay? Is this appropriate? Is this long enough? Do you need socks? Like, can you show your feet? Like, they're so accepting.
Okay.
And photographers will oftentimes, like, if they're uncertain about a certain picture, they'll just be like, okay, how do you feel about this? And I'm just like, oh, this is fine, this is okay. But they're just being so like self-aware and like very in tune with everything that's going on, because they understand, like, okay, I want to be respectful. And I hope that everybody that's entering the fashion industry has that same experience, because we all deserve to feel comfortable, you know, feel safe, feel like we can be our true authentic selves in our place of work. It's Rihanna, sir. That's why. Like, do I have to go and actually answer? It's Rihanna. Funny story. Panda replay. I think that happened around the same time that we had just left the camp. I feel like when that dropped, and that might have been like, yeah. Actually, though, in the camp, one of my first and only songs that I remember that was American was Kelly Rowland. It was like, no matter what I do, no matter what I do. I don't know what that song. It's like it starts with Dilemma. It was that song. Oh, with Nelly. That was my childhood. Like, we had one radio on our block, and boy, did we turn up. Like, we turned out. Like, everything was amazing. Like, it was no matter what I do. Oh. Yes.